quick new video to do and take a look at the top teams for the Element Cup remix here, as we're going to have only a fire, water and grass Pokemon allowed, and some are actually banned this time around, which is really nice because before the meta was basically based on 4 different Pokemon, and now they're all banned, which are Chinchou, Cottony, Ducklet and Slandered. Especially Slandered is a very decent ban there, as Slandered was pretty awkward to get for most people. You had to trade with a lower level account that hatched this Pokemon, so it was basically inaccessible unless you have most of the time a second account, which is against the rules. So good that this thing is banned. So this cup might be a little bit better now. Let's take a look at the meta for it. Let's take a look at the meta, and we're going to see, even though the most meta Pokemon got banned, we still have something that seems to be very strong in the current meta, which is going to be Dewpider. Dewpider has access to Bug Bite and Bubble Beam, which is the main reason why it's up there. Otherwise, they want you to run Mirror Coat, which is mainly for the matchup against the Bulbasaur. You can also decide to go for Water Pulse, which does a little bit more damage. It's still a horrible move though. Like, usually you're just going to do mainly damage with Bug Bite anyway, because it's very strong to have a 1-turn fast moves in this meta. Otherwise, what we're going to see is going to be a ton of different grass types. Grass type seems to be very strong, especially with the move Razor Leaf, but there are also some different variants here, like for example the Shroomish, which is interesting, which has access to Tackle, which is now a buffed move in this new season here, which is going to be way better. Same as well with Bulbasaur and also the and also some other grass types that also have Tackle, and you might actually want to swap to Tackle depending on which matchups you face, especially as a Say Swap. For example, Chikorita has also access to Tackle. As a Say Swap, it's just a little bit better as it's more neutral against some Pokemon. Vulpix, for example, doesn't resist it, but of course the energy gain isn't as high as compared to Vine Whip, so it's going to be a little bit of a tough one. Otherwise, there are going to be some more interesting Pokemon as well for this cup. There's some more special ones like the Pumpkaboo, which is now a little bit higher because this Pokemon will be able to resist other grass type moves as well as the normal type moves of, for example, the usually quick attack Vulpix. So it's going to be an interesting one. Whalmer is up there, which is going to be interesting, maybe even the shadow version nowadays. But the Pokemon that actually we want to take a look at going to be Slugma. Slugma going to be the most interesting Pokemon here, as you're going to be able to destroy Dewpider with it. So we're going to have some teams with this. You're also going to be able to destroy Vulpix with it, so it's the core breaker for this meta. A little bit lower, a little bit more hidden, but I don't think there are a lot of other Pokemon that have like rock type fast moves here, so that's going to be it for this meta review. Definitely take a look at Slugma if you have one, definitely try to use it, and let's go into some teams. Taking a look at the first team here, this is going to be one of the most common teams, I would say, that we're gonna face, not really with the lead itself here. You can use the Rowlet, but you can also use Dewpider, you can use, I don't know, like any kind of grass type in the front, or like Dewpider itself, because you kind of want to have some kind of answer against water types. And you're going to have the Say Swap here of Quick Attack Vulpix, especially the Shadow version. If you have that, that would be even more amazing. As Quick Attack got boosted, Vulpix is going to be basically everywhere, and having an answer for this is kind of nice as well in the back here with the Slugma. Slugma going to be your main core breaker for the opponents, as Slugma will be able to smack down, or like in this time Rock Throw down Vulpix. Will be able to Rock Throw down Dewpider, and giving you a grass type in the lead that can also resist grass type moves, like very nice, or like in general some better resistances, like the Rowlet here, which is part flying, which is helping a lot against other grass types. You have some more viability there, but otherwise you can also use something like Pumpkaboo or Dewpider or whatever you really want, but kind of the backline will be very common, I would say. The next team, of course, again, we are in the Element Cup right now, so we're going to have kind of most of the time ABB lines. A little bit difficult to play something different here. Here's something that would most likely lose against the first team, but most likely gonna win against other teams that are a little bit differently. But we're going to have here a water type in the lead. You could also use something like, for example, a Wooper here, or a Barboach, even though Wooper is just way better than Barboach. Something that can just like destroy some fire types like the Vulpix. It would be nice. I just put it in Seal here. You can use something else there as well. As a Say Swap, you have here the Shroomish. You can also use something like the Chikorita with Tackle. Both of them, like all of them, have Tackle here as a fast move. This will allow you, as a Say Swap, to have more neutral matchups against the Pokemon that you kind of don't really want to face with this typing itself. For example, when you get out a fire type, you're still going to do neutral damage against them, which is kind of nice because you're gonna get them way lower than if you have like a grass type fast move. So I think Shroomish and also all the other tackle users actually have a little bit more play than you might expect in this meta. But let's take a look at the next team. The next team here going to be another ABB line, of course. We're going to have the Slugman lead here this time around, trying to destroy those Vulpix and Dewpider and also grass types. So Slugma going to be a very good Pokemon for this meta. We have this haze swap here, this seal, where you can actually opt to go for the ice shard as well, but like depending on really what you want to do. The main reason why you have this seal as a haze swap, you kind of want to get out those potential grass types, like you kind of want to get out the answers for the Dewpider in the back. If you don't want to use Dewpider, you can also use different kind of water types in the deck. For example, the Slowpoke might be also pretty interesting here, especially as you can bait out the potential Dewpider from the opponent, which is like basically the main issue with Slowpoke in this current meta. Slowpoke, especially as a shadow version, does a ton of damage as well and might be a very good closer, but otherwise this team does seem to make some kind of sense. For the fourth team here, I'm going to try to make a team that is not as, I don't know, like ABB meta team here. We're going to have an ABC team with one water type in the lead, a fire type as a say swap, and also a grass type in the back. Pumpkaboo is pretty cool here. You can also use Dewpider in the lead, which makes you a little bit less weak against other Dewpiders in the lead. Also something like Seal in the lead, which also makes you a little bit less weak against Dewpiders, but otherwise this team should work pretty well. Again, like Vulpix as a say swap going to be the most common one in this meta in general. You're going to have the best answer for Vulpix in the lead, and you have a Pokemon in the back that doesn't really want to face Vulpix, so this should be pretty much fine there. Again, Dewpider can be a little bit of an issue for your lead in your say swap, but the say swap can still actually manage to do some damage against it because it resists the bug bite, and the bubble beam doesn't do as much damage either. So let's take a look at the final team. For the final team, we're going to take a look at a double water backline here now, again with the Ferroseed in the lead. Ferroseed going to be a very cool Pokemon in this meta, as this Pokemon also has access to Tackle, and Tackle allows it to have way more play than before. Before it only had Metal Claw, I think, and now with Tackle it's going to generate energy way faster. You only need one charge move for it. Iron Head is all that you need. And the typing itself is very decent, as you're going to be able to resist a ton of moves. Sadly, not fire types, but everything else kinda, so that's going to be also a very fun one here. Ferroseed definitely going to be a Pokemon that I kind of want to try out, but yeah, let me know in the comment section what you're going to play. You're most likely going to play this cup, I would say, compared to like Mars League. This is still a blessing. But yeah, let me know in the comment section what you think about this meta, what team you're going to run, and see you in the next video. Bye!